where I keep my supplies for knitting. It has this pattern, which I thought was really pretty. Yarn that I used, it's like very thin. So I've been really into like sea glass green and like really light mint green. These like really soft and gentle shades of blue and bluish green. A sweater I want to make. So there's this super soft, I tie it like this, tie it under my chin, and it keeps my ears warm. I use this like grayish blue colored wool. It's made of such a fine material. Hello everyone. Hello. And welcome to another ASMR video. Thanks for stopping by. It is so nice to see you here again. I hope that you are ready to get relaxed and cozy because the theme of today's ASMR is knitting, which has been a new favorite hobby of mine lately. And I was inspired to create this particular video because I just acquired a bunch of beautiful new wool for my birthday. So I wanted to show you. It's so pretty and fluffy and colorful and beautiful. So I wanted to show you and talk about it and talk about what I plan to make with it. And when I finish, I'll show you, but I'm sure it will take me a really long time because I knit pretty slowly. Well, I think I knit pretty quickly, but I knit kind of infrequently. So anyway, I first wanted to show you some of my finished projects that I feel kind of proud of, I guess, and that I like wearing. So I'll show you. So this is a headband I made last winter. It is for keeping my ears warm. And I have worn this so frequently last winter. So I want to make more of the same. It has this like leaf pattern, which I thought was really pretty. And I used this really fluffy wool. I believe it was from Comoros. Snowflake is a Danish brand of wool. It's super soft and warm. My ears get very cold easily. So I wear this a lot because I don't like how hats look on me. They kind of make me look like an egg. Maybe I still look like an egg in this, but I like having my hair loose So that was my first like lace pattern project. And then I also made this. It's like for the same purpose, but I tie it like this. Tie it under my chin, and it keeps my ears warm. And I was worried because it's made of such a fine material. I was worried that it was fragile or delicate, but it's actually really strong. And even though there's holes in it like this, it's surprisingly super warm as well. I was following this pattern that makes these like little knots basically. And then I don't know what happened, but I kind of messed up at the end, so I started knitting the rest of it, just like a plain stitch. And I actually really like how it turned out. It looks intentional, and I think it's super pretty, and I really like the color. I was really like not able to spend much money on yarn when I started knitting, so I got really into doing like small projects that require small amounts. Because it gets pricey to buy enough to make a whole sweater. So that is my little scarf, my other like triangle scarf. I don't know what that's called, but yeah. So then I was learning how to make socks, and I don't have the first 3 with me because they were disastrous. The first one was so tiny that I couldn't put it on my foot, and then the second one was like massive and just like weird shaped, and then the third one, I don't really remember what went wrong with it, but it was just like not usable. And then fourth try, I made the perfect sock. So it has this pattern that's like kind of eyelets. Let me put it on my hand. This eyelet patterned sock. I used this like grayish blue colored wool. I have yet to tuck in the ends because I have yet to make the second sock. I finished this months ago, and it was really hard to make, so I keep procrastinating on making the second sock. But the heel has this like reinforced bit that's like ripped, and I was really proud of that. How neat that came together. It's very, very much a sock. But yeah, wish me luck on making the second one because I'm nervous because I want it to be the exact same. But I've tried it on and it fits really well and it's really comfortable and warm, so I should probably get on that ASAP. This is the yarn that I used. It's like very thin. I think it's like 2 2-ply or fingering weight, as they call it. And I use these needles. They are from this brand called Chillout, and they are 2.25 millimeters. They are made of metal. So I really wanted the interchangeable knitting needles, so that it's just something I can keep for a long time and have something nice. So instead of getting the cheapest knitting needles and then replacing it, I decided to start with like the nicer ones that I wanted. And instead of buying the whole kit all at once, I've just been buying a pair for whatever project I'm working on. And then I'll eventually collect a bunch of different sizes and have a little set for myself. But I really, really like these, and the ends twist off, so you can use different lengths of cables, and you can change the needle sizes really easily. And I like that system personally. So right now I don't have like a cute storage bag for them, but like this is a different cable and it's smaller, very short, which I thought I would like for knitting socks and sleeves, but I actually turned out to prefer the magic loop method, which is where you take a cable that is longer than the circle that you need, and then you work it in a specific way where you work like half the circle and the other half. I'm not good at explaining things like that, so if you are interested in learning knitting, I learned everything from YouTube, so there's so many good tutorials on YouTube that explain everything. And yeah, so this is what the needles look like on their own without the cables twisted on. And you can get them in these separate packs, which is what I have been doing. So I've gathered a good little handful. The first socks I made, the first few pairs I made on these really tiny, and really cheap little wooden circular needles, and it was kind of a disaster. So I liked the idea of using really tiny needles and just making a little sock, but it turned out to be a bit difficult. Yeah. So that's everything that I finished so far, and this is what I'm almost finished with. So it's a sweater. The pattern I'm using is from Petite Knit, and it's the Novice Sweater Junkie Edition. I listen to a lot of like knitting podcasts, as they're called, here on YouTube, and a lot of people mentioned that designer, so I thought I should give it a go and make my first sweater from hers. And the instructions have been really clear and easy to follow, so I see why she's really popular. And this is just, okay, it's a little bit hard to show you right now because I'm working on the sleeves. But this is like, it's just a sweater in this like grayish green color. I've been really into like sea glass green and like really light mint green. These like really soft and gentle shades of blue and bluish green. So I chose that. I finished the body and the neck opening and everything. So I'm just knitting up the sleeves, and it took so much brain power for me to grasp this concept, but I really wanted to learn how to knit 2 at a time in the magic loop, so you can knit 2 sleeves or 2 socks at the same time so that there's no procrastination in doing the second one. And also I find it really challenging to keep count of exactly how many rows I've done, so I fear asymmetry when it comes to things that are supposed to be the same. So doing them at the same time makes it a lot more chill for me, so I don't have to like count, and I could just go round and round till I'm happy with how long they are. And I'm really excited to get into sweater making because that way I can make them in my favorite colors, and I can also adjust how long I want the sleeves, because I like when my sleeves are too long, because then I can put my hands in them and it's like warm. I don't know, I just like how that feels. It's really cozy. So right now the sleeves are like at the length of maybe a t-shirt. So wish me luck when I finish it. If it is pretty, I'll wear it. Okay, so now these are my acquisitions. These are just the last 2 balls of yarn from my current sweater that I'm almost done with. Drops Charisma. A wool, it's 100% wool, and it is, I think it's like a DK weight, I'm not sure. It's like this thick. So everything in these bags is from Drops, because I found out about the brand as a good beginner, budget-friendly recommendation that still makes like nice quality yarn that is not like acrylic or polyester, because I wanted to use natural fibers. So I was basically given yarn money for my birthday, and I was debating if I should choose a really special project and make one expensive sweater that is like super beautiful and luxurious, I guess, or get enough to make more projects and choose the more budget-friendly choosing to make more because I felt like as a beginner-ish, I felt like as a beginner, it felt like too much pressure to buy expensive yarn and then be super worried about if I messed up or something. I feel like I would have a harder time relaxing and enjoying the hobby. I would be like more worried about making the perfect sweater, and I didn't want to feel that way, which is why I chose to get more instead of less. So first, oh my gosh, it's so soft and beautiful. This is the yarn combination that I chose for a sweater I want to make. So there's this super soft blown alpaca merino wool. Super nice and beautiful, and I absolutely love the color. So that's like the thicker yarn, and then I will be holding it together with the mohair, which gives it a really fuzzy and fluffy appearance. And it's like a really thin base. So you knit them while holding two together, and then it creates a different texture than if you were just to use one. You can also use different colors held together, and that gives a really pretty effect that I want to do in the future. But I really fell in love with this like lilac color, so I got a whole bunch of this. Let's see, I got a sweater's quantity amount of that, which I'm super excited about. I think it's my favorite thing that I picked. I can't hold it all. I'm trying to hold it all at once. There goes one of them. But yeah, I'm so excited. I haven't decided on a pattern for that yet. I was considering making the same sweater that I'm currently making and then making it again, but in a different color and texture, if I like it. So that's something I was considering. So then I also got, this is the other sweater quantity that I got. It's actually the same yarn that I was making my current sweater that I'm working on, but in a light ice blue color. I just think it's really pretty, and I like the texture. And I like how neat the stitches looked. So, yeah. So those were the two sweater quantities that I got, and the rest is for smaller projects. So I wanted to make a bunch of socks, so I got a bunch of different colors of drop snort. It's something, I think it's a nice yarn for socks. And they have a lot of pretty colors, so I wanted to try to make a bunch of different colors of socks. So I got this like light purple color that will match my sweater. My future unborn sweater. And then I got this like dusty, kind of pastel pink color. I got 2 of each, just so that I don't run out. And then I got charcoal gray, super pretty. Medium gray. And light gray, light gray, light gray. I like gray. I think it's pretty. So soft, so soft, so soft. Okay, and then last but not least, I got this chunky blue yarn to make a scarf with to keep me warm. It's like a baby blue, chunky, super soft wool. There's a polar bear on it saying 100% wool. So I got just a handful of these to make a cozy scarf with. I've been really into this scarf tying method where I don't have one with me to show you, but you put it in the front and then you pull it back and then you put the ends tuck in on both sides. Then you can pull it up and it turns into a hood. So you have like a scarf with a hood. And that has been my go-to. It's so warm and cozy. And so yeah, that concludes my knitting and yarn ASMR video. I hope this was cozy and fun to watch. I didn't really plan what I would say or anything, so I hope it was fun to listen to. And if you don't have a hobby, I encourage you to get into hobbies because it is literally the most fun. Hands down, my favorite thing about being alive is having hobbies. So, yeah. I especially love hobbies where I get something out of it. So, like making clothes or making bread. I love getting a product that I can then use at the end of making the hobby, I guess. Yeah, I find that really fun and rewarding and satisfying. Okay. Oh, wait, I have to show you one more thing. This is my basket. Isn't that cute? And this is where I keep my supplies for knitting.